Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have Hero Coach back in the game. This is an event that is in the game for 3 days only. It comes around once every 3 months, and in this event you have an opportunity to level up a hero up to 4.90 at the cost of gems. You can choose a hero that is unleveled at all, you can choose a hero that is partially leveled, you can choose a hero that is maxed at 4.80, but it does have to be a hero that is at least 2 years old. I put out a video a couple weeks ago with a full list of every single hero that was eligible to be trained in Hero Coach. I will pin a comment with a link to that video down below. Definitely check out that video if you haven't already. But in this video, I want to go over some of my final thoughts of who I think would be good for Hero Coach this time around in the September 2025 event. And I'm actually going to go through my roster and talk about some options that I am considering. And then we're actually going to go through selecting which hero I'm going to choose for Hero Coach for this event. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. All right, so let's click the choose a hero button and we're going to go into my roster. Many of these heroes are costumes that I got up to 4.90, but not their main versions. I only clicked the double limit broke button, so to speak, like Richard and Magni and Sartana and Cleopatra. All of their costumes are up to 4.90, so we're going to skip through a bunch of these. And I'm going to talk about categories of heroes, or families of heroes rather, and then also some specific heroes. One of those specific heroes is going to be Lord Loki, who I do have his costume at 4.90. I've only got his main hero at 4.85, obviously, but he is definitely one of those specific niche heroes that I think would be good for Hero Coach because you can copy anybody special in the game. Obviously, his stats are a little bit outdated, and I'll show you what my version of the costume of Lord Loki looks like. This is my version of Lord Loki. I went the defense and health path, and you can see he's got 1248 attack, 1550 shield, and 2357 health. I do have 25 emblems on him, including the masterclass emblems. So this is the best that you can get his stats at the game right now with the defense and shield, unless if the Valhalla costume bonus gets a buff eventually. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. If the game ever wants to make the older seasons more relevant, then that could happen, but I wouldn't expect it to happen. Another niche hero is Guardian Gazelle. She could be an option, and I'll show you what my version of hers looks like right now. This is my version of her double limit broken masterclass emblems. She's got 1290 attack, 1492 shield, and 2408 health. Another hero and a category of heroes that I would consider is the villains family, if you have their costume, and that's going to be talked about a lot in this video. It's really going to be dependent if you have their costume, because that's what makes them relevant. So Toxicandra is somebody I am considering hero coaching in this event. I've got her up to 3.70, and her stats are very good when you've got the costume bonus. Some other villains that would be worth leveling up are Dark Lord. That is definitely a very popular one, and I actually considered leveling him up through Hero Coach, but I ended up doing him the old school way because I had the materials to get him up to 4.90. I didn't have some of the materials for Toxicandra. That's why I am considering leveling her up through Hero Coach. There are some Untold Tales 1 heroes that are available through Hero Coach. I've got Forces at 4.80 right now. I don't have his costume, or else he would be somebody I would consider, and his costume would not be eligible in the Outfitter event next month when that comes back, and I have to wait a few more months for that. Some other heroes that would be worth leveling up through Hero Coach are any Season 5 hero, or not maybe any Season 5 hero, but a lot of the Season 5 heroes are definitely worth it if you have their costume, especially if you've got Hathor, or Head of Fairies, or Khufu, or Cleopatra. Cleopatra would definitely be a very good one. She is one of the few healers in the game that can get rid of those Mega Fiends by herself that the veggies give, and the other Mega Fiends from some of the other Mega Fiend givers. Esset here could be a decent one. She is slow mana speed. Season 1 heroes are another very good option. Here you can see I've got Elkinen as an option. I've got him at 3.70, and then also I've got Richard at 3.70. I've already got one of Richard maxed at 4.90 with his Toon and Glass costume, so I was considering doing a second one. I do consider Richard to be one of the better, if not the best, Toons and Glass heroes in the game. There's a lot of red tanks in the game right now, and there probably will be for a while, so I always feel like doing extra damage to red is always very helpful. So Richard could definitely be an option. I grabbed Guardian Hippo at the Soul Exchange event a few rounds ago. That's why I've got her at 3.70. Alucard is an interesting one because he just got a big costume buff bonus, so he could definitely be an option. He's very fast mana speed, and then there's a couple other more Lovia heroes that have costumes, so if you have their costumes, then those could be worth leveling for you. Alucard's costume would not be eligible in the Outfitter event next month. It wouldn't be available at least for like 6 or 7 months. It just came out last year. Scrolling through. Tower of Magic heroes. If you have their costume, and I was lucky enough to just pull Becky, so she is somebody that I am considering as well. She's another front runner for me. But any of those other Tower of Magic heroes, if you have their costume, so especially Malena or Vashali or Ray, those are the big three that come to mind for me because cleansers and dispellers are always very, very useful, especially dispellers with all of the Untold Tales 2 heroes with the Arctic Core and Molten Cores, and that's only going to get worse as their costumes come out because those will be coming out. They're actually currently in beta testing right now, but Becky here would definitely be a good option as well. Again, you really need their costumes to make them relevant, and if you're a newer player or free-to-play player, you have one of these from the Fated Summons, and you don't have anybody else to use, you definitely want to hero coach somebody up to 4.90. It's still going to help your roster. It's definitely worth the gems to do it. There are some goblins that are starting to be available through Hero Coach, and Dark Feather is one of them. I've already got one Dark Feather at 4.90. This was an extra one that I pulled at some point, so he could definitely be an option, and some of the other goblins. Some of the Contest of Elements heroes that have costumes you could definitely do. I've already got one Ignacio right now at 4.85, but any of those Contest of Elements heroes that have costumes, although there's a couple of them that I'm not really a fan of, like Jakun. Some of the Kay Lavela heroes with their costumes could be worth it for Hero Coach. I've got Yukonin pictured here. I've already got one of him at 4.90. This is, again, another one that I pulled at some point through Kay Lavela. I mentioned Ray before. I do have his regular version from Fated Summons, but I do not have his costume. He would definitely be a very good option for Hero Coach. And these heroes that you have their costumes for, I say that they would be good for Hero Coach. You get their main version up to 4.90, but you do still have to level up their costumes. So keep that in mind, but it is significantly easier to level up the costumes rather than the main version, and significantly less materials to do so. So just keep that in mind. I mentioned Season 5 heroes. I've got Head of Fairies at 4.1, and she's somebody who I definitely would consider. I do have quite a few blue healers, though a lot of them are actually getting a little bit outdated at this point right now with stats, and Head of Fairies would definitely beef up my blue healers if I decided to do that. Oni Wakamaru is another niche hero that I think is worth it for Hero Coach, although with the current meta right now and Gurik being the major tank in wars, especially in top level alliances, I'm not sure if Oni Wakamaru would be worth it for anybody in a top level alliance that's going up against Gurik or has trouble going and beating him. But if you are in a lower level or mid-level alliance, Oni Wakamaru is a very good hero. His stats are outdated, but he lasts long because of the way his special works with him giving himself boosted health. I'll actually show you my version of Oni Wakamaru. I've actually got two of him double limit broken, and I've only got mine actually at 4.90.24. He's got 941 attack, 1401 shield, and 2248 health. You could have that health a little bit higher because I don't have the 25th Masterclass emblem node on him. But he has that undispellable taunt in just 5 tiles. He's the only hero in the game that gets taunt that's undispellable. He's got 3 different mana charges like all of the other magic heroes do. The second and third charge just make it so that the taunt lasts longer, the counterattack is higher, and the heal is a little bit higher. Aramis could be a popular one for a lot of people because he's currently available in the Fated Summon, and he, of course, is available for Hero Coach. Out of all of the heroes in Fated Summon, I think he would definitely be worth it the most out of anybody if you don't have the costumes for any of the other heroes. My girl Hather, of course, would definitely be worth it. I've got her at 4.90 already. This is an extra one that I pulled. The War of Three Kingdoms heroes, if you have their costumes, are definitely worth it. They've got pretty good stats, not as high as the Season 5 heroes or the Untold Tales 1 heroes with the costumes, but Diachan definitely one of the better ones out of the War of Three Kingdoms heroes, her and Zhuge Liang. Those are probably the two best, with Liu Bei probably right behind them. Hulda could be another good option. She was in Fated Summon last time around if you've got her costume, and if you don't have her costume, it will be eligible in the Outfitter event next month. I mentioned Malena earlier as the Tower of Magic heroes being good options for Hero Coach. I do not have her costume, so unfortunately she's not somebody I'm considering. Xenolfod would be a decent option as well. He's currently available in Fated Summon if you need a good purple healer and somebody that can help speed up some of your other heroes, then Xenolfod would be an option, and his costume is available in Outfitter if you don't have it already, so you could grab that next month when that event comes back. And then I've got a bunch of other Season 1 heroes. Season 1 heroes are a good option, but it can be tedious to level up all 4 of those costumes if you've got the Toon and Glass costumes, and that's what makes it worth it for them. Personally, I feel like if you're trying to get a quick bang for your buck, so to speak, and get somebody leveled up and maxed quickly and ready and able to be used quicker, then it's probably more worth it to level up one of those Season 5 heroes with the costume, a Tower of Magic hero with a costume, a villain hero with the costume. Obviously, if you want to go through the process of leveling all of those costumes for a Season 1 hero, definitely go for it. But if you want the hero to be usable quicker, you may want to choose somebody else that only has one costume, unless if you just have a bazillion costumes that you can level up that hero with. All right, so those are kind of my final thoughts and who I think would be good for Hero Coach and some categories and families of heroes. Now let's pick who I am going to use in Hero Coach this time around. So let's go back here, click choose a hero, and let's find Toxicandra. That is who I am going to level up. She is fast mana speed, and I love fast mana speed heroes that can get to their special in 7 tiles with a legendary troop, and you kind of either need that 5% mana bonus from the costume bonus, or they either need to be druid, monk, or sorcerer because of the 4% mana node that you get from the talent path rather than the 2% mana node from the other 7 classes. Toxicandra's costume is a druid class, but I like the cleric version better anyway. Either way, I'll be able to get her special in 7 tiles because of the 5% from the costume bonus, but this is who we are going to choose for Hero Coach. She's definitely going to be a mainstay on my offensive teams in wars, and it's only going to cost me 334 gems because I did get her up to 3.70 before this event went active. And here we are, Toxicandra at 4.90. I just need to get her costume up to 4.80. I'm going to be using her main version anyway because that has a regular heal percentage versus a heal over time. I think it's with boosted health for her costume. So I only need to get the costume up to 4.80. I don't even need to get it up to 4.90 because I'm not going to use that version. I also like the cleric class better as blocking some mana and other status elements that affect the use of special skills, but definitely excited to get her on my roster and use her in wars. Let me know who you decided to use in Hero Coach this time around, and if you need an opinion, drop a comment down below and I will give you my thoughts. But that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful, and if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.